Hello guys, I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so this video I'm going to start chapter 4.4, that is chapter 4 section 4, that is fundamental theorem on calculus. Okay, so in the last video we learned some basic antiderivative techniques, right, from the taking the inverse kind of the inverse way to find out the antiderivative, right? Or the reverse way of finding the antiderivative from the derivative. So on this video, we are going to talk about the definite integral. Okay, so what do you mean by the definite integral? Basically, the definite integral are the one that has the value, the limits as the numbers there, right? A to B or 1 to 2, 2 to 3, like that. And then you will have an answer as a single number instead of the function, okay? So there is a theorem that's name is fundamental theorem on calculus. What does it say is, if the integral or the antiderivative of f of x dx is uppercase fx, then if you want to find out the antiderivative of fx from a to b, then what you do is you plug in b on the integral for x and then do minus and then plug in a on x. Okay, so the antiderivative, basically what it does is, so suppose you have a function fx like this, right? So f of x, and then basically what you're trying to do is you are trying to find out this area. Okay, so you see from the section 4.3 that if you are trying to find out area from a to b under the function fx and above x-axis, so this is x-axis, this is y-axis, what does the formula say? The Riemann sum says is you can do a to b f of x dx is basically the sum of the tiny rectangles you form to find out the area, right? So basically this will give you the area under the curve. Okay, so the definite integral basically gives you the area. But what is the definite integral? Definite integral is the one that has the limits of integration a through b. All right, so let us take some examples and then the things will get clear. Okay, example number 1, I want to find out, say, -1 through 1 x squared minus 7 and then dx. So to do this problem, what you need to do first is you need to find the integral or the antiderivative of this. After you find out that, you will plug in those numbers on x. Okay, first of all you plug in the upper limit 1 and then you do minus and then you plug in the lower limit on the whole function, what you get after you integrate. Okay, let's solve this one. So solution, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find out the integral. Okay, what is the integral of x squared? It is x cubed over 3, right? Because it is x to the 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1. And then minus, what is the integral of 7? It is 7x. But what do we do with this? You write parenthesis or the bracket and then write a vertical line and then write down -1 through 1. So after you find out the integration or after you find out the antiderivative of this function, you don't have to write this integral sign and then dx. What you do, you just write inside the parenthesis and then write a vertical line and then do -1 through 1. Okay, now what it says is, if fx is the integral of that, which is this is our fx, right? And to find out the definite integral from a to b, that is from -1 to 1, what you do, you plug in 1 for x. Let us do that. 1 cubed over 3 minus 7 times 1. I did fb, that is b is 1, right? A is -1. So minus, what you do is -1 to the cube. I'm replacing x by -1 over 3 minus 7 times -1 and then close the parenthesis. Why do I need parenthesis here? Is because there is a minus sign. You see that? Because of that sign, you need the parenthesis here. Okay. So 1 to the cubed is 1 over 3 minus 7 minus. What is -1 to the cubed? It is -1, right? Because it is -1 times -1 times -1. So if you multiply negative number 3 times, then you will get negative number over 3, and then plus 7, because negative 7 times negative 1. See that? So what you get is 1/3 minus 7, minus times minus is plus 1/3, and then minus times plus is negative 7. You see that? So what you get is 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3, right? And then minus 7 is negative 14. You see that? So what do you get if you simplify that? You can use calculator, or just, this is 14 means 42/3, right? So negative 42/3 plus 2/3 will be 40/3 with a negative sign. So this is the final answer you get. Okay, we'll do some more examples. Okay, let me do example, next example. So I'm picking these examples from the online homework. Okay, so you will see similar problem in your online homework. Let me do example number 2. I want to do this as the question is 0 to 2, 4x minus 1, and then square dx. I want to do this example for you guys. Okay, so how do I do this? Before I find out the integral, I have to simplify this. This is like 4x minus 1 times 4x minus 1, right? So how that look like? 4x minus 1 times 4x minus 1 dx. So let us simplify that. 0 to 2, if you fold this, 4x times 4x and 4x times negative 1, that way you will get 16x square, and then minus 8x, and then plus 1. This is what you get, and there is dx. Okay, now what you do is you do the integral of each of those terms. So what you get is 16x to the third over 3. You see that? Because the entire derivative of x squared is x to the 3 over 3, but 16 stays there. Okay, minus 8. What is the entire derivative of x? It is x to the 1 plus 1 over, because there is 1 in the exponent, right? So it is x squared over 2, and then plus, what is the entire derivative of 1? It is x. Okay, so what we need to do with these limits is draw a vertical line and then write 0 to 2. So let us continue that. What you get is you have a 16/3 x cubed minus 4x squared, because 8 times x squared over 2 is, you just divide 8 by 2, right? And then plus x. And then what are the limits? I'm just rewriting those. 0 to 2. Okay guys, now plug in 2 first for all of those, and then do minus, plug in 0. So you can do another way. What you can do is, for each of the term you can do plug 2 and then do minus and then plug 0, and for this term plug 2 and then minus, plug 0, and so on. You can do that too, or you can plug in 2 for all those and then do minus, and inside the parenthesis plug 0. You can do that too. So what I'm trying to do is I'm plugging in 2 for all of those. So 2 to the third, right? And minus 4 times 2 to the square, and then plus 2, right? And then minus, I will plug in 0 everywhere, right? So 16/3 times 0 to the cubed is 0, right? Minus 4 times 0 plus 0. So basically this thing is 0, right? So what is left here is 16/3 times, what is 2 to the third? It is not 6, right? It is 2 times 2 times 2, so that is 8. Minus 4 times 4, and then plus 2 minus 0, so you don't have to worry about that. So 16 times 8 is how much? You can use calculator. It is 128. Divide by 3 minus 16 plus 2. So if you simplify this, you will get 86 over 3. This is what you get. Okay, let us take another example. So example number 3, I want to take this is, let us say, find the integral of 5 through 6, and then there is a 9 over x squared minus 1. Okay, and then dx. I want to do this example next. So how do I do this? Is basically the same technique, but when you find out the integral of something that is in the denominator, the first thing you want to do is you want to move this to the numerator. Okay, So this will be so 5 through 6, 9 times x to the negative 2 and then minus 1. You see that? And then dx. Alright. So what you can do here is you can find out the integral of that. So it is 9 times x to the negative 2 plus 1 over negative 2 plus 1. Okay. Minus integral of 1 is x. You see that? And then I will need a big vertical line and write those limits. See that? Let me simplify that. So 9 times x to the negative 1 over negative 1 minus x. You see that? And still we have those limits 5 through 6. Okay. So what do you get? You get negative 9 over x. You agree with me? Minus x. Okay. You can write a big parenthesis or a bracket. It does not matter. So here what I did is this is 9 over negative 1, right? So it is negative 9 and x to the negative 1 goes to the denominator and that becomes x to the positive 1, right? So let me continue from here. What you get there is plug in 6. You get negative 9 over 6 minus 6. I plug in 6 to both of those x, right? And then do minus, I need the parenthesis, plug in 5. Negative 9 over 5 minus 5, right? 5. I'm plugging in 5 next. Okay. So what do you get? Basically, you get, just simplify that, okay? Negative 9 over 6 minus 6 plus 9 over 5 plus 5. Because I'm distributing this negative sign to all of those. So if you simplify, you'll get negative 7 over 10. Alright?